Hello and welcome to the back nine of round one of the Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open presented by Westside Discs. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.
A little bit of a windy day out here at the disc side of heaven. Some struggles on the front nine. I think the back might have some more danger than the front.
Definitely, but there are still a lot of birdies out there. We saw a lot of players heating up on the back nine in last year's rounds, and we'll see what happens today, even under these daunting conditions. Kristin Tattar beating the entire feature card right now by 3 strokes minimum, 4 down on the round, and in solo first place at this point in the day. Lykke stringing together some birdies, but having some unfortunate bogeys as well. Sai and Kat having a few too many bogeys, but still room to improve.
Scores are pretty tight, though. Only 6 ladies under par so far for the tournament. Hole 10 is old hole 18. It's a par 5, same hole, 818 feet. Most ladies going to shoot through the gap here and then just try to land past that little bridge. Second shot, you can go left or right. We're flying left right now of that grouping of trees. And then ideally, the left side is kind of nice to set up a flat shot. If you go around to the right or the center, you have more of kind of a run up on an uphill surface. There's OB left and right the entire way. If you choose the right side on your second shot, it really gets tight over there in the corner. We're going to check in with Evelina Salonen, who's 3 down, just came off a bogey on hole 9. That's a huge drive. She's choosing right side here. This is where the OB can get a little tight, but that looks great.
I really love this hole. I kind of miss it as the finishing hole.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure. And it doesn't quite get to, there's no one really out here watching it.
Yeah, it doesn't get to live in all its glory. The changes were great though. It was
for flow, much better.
And it's cool to have so many spectators able to be out there watching.
They can watch there's one, the island. They can watch 4 or 5 different holes at once.
Yeah, and there's like a cool big tent and refreshments.
Ooh.
Yep.
Kristin going sidearm here, which is a really cool play because it fades away from the left side OB. I guess I did say there was right side OB the whole way, but it actually starts later in the hole. In the beginning, it's just that left side stake line you see. I'd say most women gonna throw kind of a flip up backhand through here, though there is a hyzer play as well. That's pretty.
Yeah, and you don't have to bite off massive distance here to birdie the hole. It's better to be a little bit more controlled, but you can also go huge if you want.
Lykke taking a cool play, just going glow pathfinder, so just kind of a slightly stable mid-range. Sai looking to go kind of big here, turns it over, gets pretty lucky through those trees.
Very lucky. Kat's just throwing a distance driver.
Halo Hawkeye.
Okay,
a fairway?
That's a fairway, yeah.
And a little early out of the hand. Ooh. That's really a good kick, honestly. And anything past that bridge, you could still potentially birdie. Need some big distance on the next couple of shots, though.
The course giveth.
And then this is always a fun game, guessing which side. Or I've seen a lot of women go right down the middle, actually, because that gap is so much clearer.
And there she is doing it, I think.
Yep. Or trying to.
Yep.
That'll be just okay, I think.
Yeah, she may not be able to attack. In the way. Yeah.
Maybe. This is a pretty pinched off angle for Sai. She's going turnover here.
Oh, I like this
actually
play.
Flexy.
Yeah,
kind of stable.
I like her wrapping the corner really tight instead of working more of a turnover shot.
Yeah. Lykke going down the middle.
I can't tell if that was intentional.
I think it was. That's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot more than in years past.
Yeah, it can. The OB on the right comes into play so quickly. Kristin far enough up there where this is a pretty simple decision, though.
It looked a little fluffed.
Oh, she doesn't like it.
Yeah,
maybe a little footing error. Who knows? But yeah, not quite sent.
It was a simple decision. She just didn't quite execute, which is rare. She's still going to have a chance, but this standstill sidearm needs a ton of power to get a putt. And it's pushing. Ooh. Yeah, it's OB, looks like.
Yeah, she went very aggressive there. Props.
Yeah, had all the power.
That's a difficult shot to execute.
Kat actually with quite a bit to work with here. Probably going to swing a hyzer out to the right side.
She's very good at this shot. She'll be putting from inside the circle. Man, they really pulled that OB in so tight on the right side by the green.
Yeah, I think that's why more women are going center or left, because I think a lot more used to go right. Oh, yeah. Sai with an amazing second and third shot to get herself pretty much parked for a birdie.
This hole normally plays as one of the harder holes of the day, but not today. It's in the middle of the pack, 20% of the field getting this birdie.
Yeah, the wind wasn't too bad in this corner, and if anything, it was kind of taily, nothing crazy.
I feel like FPO as a whole is getting a lot better at just playing golf. Not even, like they have better shots, but they also are just smarter. They're approaching the courses a lot more diligently.
Right, like people used to send that first shot a little bit too much. Kristin unable to save par. Here's Kat for a birdie. It's like maybe an inch inside the circle. Comes up low. It's a little roll. Isn't it crazy that every tournament winner this year, which there's been 5 different ones, man, Kat low on the putt, has averaged over 1,000 for the tournament.
Yeah, that is.
It's like the longest streak we've ever seen of that in FPO.
It is wild. 945, 950 used to be top 10 material every week.
Now it's barely cashing.
Yeah, it is at the cash line.
Sai with a great birdie there, especially being out of position on the drive.
Lucky really breaking down that hole well.
Yeah, moves back to 2 down, playing solid. And that's going to be a bummer of a bogey after a really phenomenal drive for Kristin.
Kat with a couple short putt misses out there, maybe a little nervy.
It's got to be hard defending a title at home.
I can't imagine.
I really can't.
Nope.
Nope. It's got to be hard, though. Evelina 4 down through 10, taking the solo lead after that bogey from Kristin.
And moving on to old hole 1, now hole 11. Same exact hole, though, at 385 feet. Kind of downhill as you finish, but there's a hill in the middle that doesn't allow you to do that nose down angle that covers ground. Errors here are people finding the right side, flipping over too much, or hyzering early can come into play surprisingly quickly, especially if there's a headwind and you're trying to work an overstable disc. You'll see a lot of circle 2 putts on this hole. Checking in with Rebecca Cox.
Boy, a lot of wind happening here.
Whoa.
Look at the wind just mess with this thing. Wow.
God, Rebecca with a huge distance, 385 just on a hyzer
It's
flip.
crazy how straight that pushed for how long.
There was no turn. It just, went dead straight.
Yeah, usually you see the flex to get all the way there. Crazy. What a birdie. Lucky up first on hole double 1, as we've all been calling it. And Lucky working that flex. She's going Halo Maya again, and that is gorgeous.
Wow.
She's really good with that disc.
Right outside the bullseye.
It's a crazy flippy 11 speed, but the Halo just gives it some stability. It's fun to watch her throw that.
It's looking like a little bit of a tailwind, maybe some left to right. That's an ideal wind here. It's not great for covering ground, but you don't have to worry about trying to work a distance disc into a headwind. Sai getting all the way down there, the tailwind kind of finishing it super left.
Yeah, she'll have a look. Kristin looking to bounce back here. Going right at it and probably going to hyzer outside the circle, I'd imagine. Just outside.
Wow.
Solid shot. Kat putting quite a bit of turn on this disc, and now it is fading just before the branches. She catches a couple, but looks like she's at circle's edge.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Sai with a putt from, it's like 38 feet or so, maybe 40. Oh, yeah.
So pretty. Dead straight into the chains.
What a calm looking putt, too.
Yeah. A quarter of the field got this one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, only 2 people parked it. We saw Rebecca. We see Lykke really close. But like I said, a lot of circle 2 putts going to be required on this one.
Man, that's 3 out of the last 4 holes for Sai, getting those birdies. Getting under par, too, with that one. Kristin for her birdie. Right at circle's edge. Looks like the wind is calm for a second, and she cashes it. Moves back to 4.
There were only 2 circle 2 putts made on this hole. We got to watch both of them.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Neat. Cat kind of floats a hyzer in there. Great birdie.
I'm glad you can hear the wind just a little on the audio.
Yeah, like it's there.
It's whipping.
Are we gonna get a star frame?
Yes, we are.
$25 donated to Edge. Nice work from our feature card. Kristin just bouncing back and forth. Now again in solo first. Evelina looks like she lost a stroke there. Haiti and Lykke at 3 down now. Hole 12, par 4, same hole as previous year, 605 feet. Most women going to take the route that the drone flew and just throw kind of a hyzer past that candy cane stake that we saw. Then you're throwing under these branches but up the hill. It's not that far distance-wise on the second shot, but those 2 technical aspects can make getting inside the circle just a bit difficult. There is OB all along the left side that can definitely come into play on the final shot. I saw Paige Pierce just blast one straight for forever, and then it's like a 200-something foot straight shot, no elevation gain. So I wonder if we're going to see more power players do that, because she made it look pretty easy. Here's Tiger Borth checking in. Looks like she's 1 down on the round. That was a massive drive. It's like, wow, what a solid birdie. She's going to move to 2 down now?
Yeah, when Tiger's on the green, she makes everything. So it looks like she's to be having a good putting day as well in the wind.
So hard to do. Lykke up first here. This is one of those ones where if you throw it too straight, actually that's going to be fine. You definitely want it to hyzer more than feels comfortable off the tee. And that little candy cane is kind of the mark of a good shot. Anything short of that, and it's a little bit more work than you want on the approach. Sai, I like the left side better where she is.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Kristin giving it some really nice height, letting it carry way far down the fairway.
Cat definitely pushing that tree line just a little bit out of the gap. Gets great distance. Set up nicely. Now this is the reason the right side's a little tough. You can see that right corner, that small tree a little bit in Lykke's way as she navigates a tight little flex line, makes it under the branches and looks like inside the circle for a birdie. It's crazy how much easier this hole gets if you can get that extra like 30 to 50 feet past that candy cane marker.
Yeah, it's just a little chip shot after that. And not blind either.
I think that's the main advantage. And a little less nose up.
Cat doesn't put that quite out wide enough. get some ground play. She'll still be inside the circle, but she's really pushing that out of bounds line deep.
It is barbed wire, so which is 2 meters of relief for safety. So if she's too close, she might actually have an easier putt. Man, Kristin really far up this hill, swinging it nice and wide, trying to get a little ground action. Yeah, it looks like about 22 feet for another birdie. Cat, is she? She's circle's edge. Not sure exactly where. Leaves it low.
A little jabby on the green. Not surprising, though. The wind is whipping on this slightly hilly or elevated green. It's up on a little plateau, and you really can feel the wind over here.
Yeah. Lucky gonna catch a few left side low chains, but not connect on her birdie. Here's Sai from about 30 feet. Yeah. Wow.
2 great putts in a row.
Yeah, and a turkey. Kristin connects low left. And Lucky in for her par. Kristin, Lucky, and Sai all doing really well and in the mix right now for potential lead card, at least, solid top 10 performances so far. Kat just not quite playing clean, a few too many errors and not connecting on the green. We'll see if she can clean it up in the later part of the round.
A prince of southern royalty was born for plastic stone. There's nothing more that you can do.
Hole 13, 310 feet, and this hole is well known for the swirling winds that come across this fairway. There's out of bounds all the way down the left-hand side that you can very easily find if you get one of those right to left gusts. For some reason, it's 310 feet, but it's so hard to get inside the circle sometimes.
It's weirdly hard.
Yep.
I'm glad you said that because I feel like a chump. Here's Rebecca Cox coming off a turkey. We just saw her.
Oh, friendly.
Yeah, that'll work. And she's even par now, it looks like. Here's a circle 2 look.
With a turkey in tow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, 4 in a row. We got a regional bird for Arkansas.
We were undecided, but today we're going to go with a ruby-crowned kinglet.
Kinglet. Love it.
Nice, Rebecca. Let's see if Sai can get one of her own. This is a great-looking shot so far.
Wow. She sure can. Oh, man. Bases it. The wind looks pretty calm. When I came through here, the wind shifted multiple times, but no one cares about that. Let's just watch this follow flight.
Well, that's pretty, I think it does add value to the hole because that is very typical. Even on a day that's not windy, you'll get random swirls, but Sai seems to have no problem.
An atypical, amazing park job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish there was more like feather banners to get a little bit of a wind read here. Kristin keeps it nice and low, puts some great spin on it, puts herself just outside the bullseye for another birdie look. She's really stacking them up.
Yeah, she's like looking like business too.
Yeah, she is. Did you think Holland let her borrow her briefcase? Lucky a little risky here. She's only a few feet off that barbed wire, but she's putting for birdie. There's a little wind. Head kind of right to left, I think. And I think that's a little too early as well.
It's got to get down and grab, and it does.
Yeah, near that barbed wire as well. Cat just outside the circle. Unable to connect. Man, those start to get to you if you don't hit a putt after a while.
Or even just draw metal. I mean, she had that one nice long comeback putt earlier, but she's had a few air balls today.
Lykke has been on fire on the putting green today.
Yeah, she's looking very comfortable. Putting stroke is looking super confident. Kristin barely having to putt.
Yeah, that's going to be a turkey for Kristin. Moves to 6 down through 13. That's
Wow.
pretty amazing. With 2 bogeys, too. That's a lot of freaking birdies, man.
Sai, the only person of the day to park this hole.
And her own, what is the kinglet?
Ruby crown.
Yes, it's ruby crowned kinglet. Lykke looks like she's in solo second at 4 down. Sai in a tie for third with Jennifer Allen, Evelina Sullivan at 3 down. Hole 14, old hole 16, used to be a par 4. We used to tee up on the left. Now we're teeing farther back, and it's a par 5. It's 755 feet. The drone is flying the right path. It's going to take 2 shots to lay up, and you're trying to get into this area, ideally in a flat spot, setting yourself up for a shot across the water. If you don't land safe across the water, it is a mandatory drop zone. There's a secondary drop zone after that if you don't land safe from the first drop zone, which is a new addition. So we flew on the right side. A lot of women are playing to the left side pretty close, but slightly farther than the old tee pad, which sets up the sidearm second shot. Sai is going to be in a really weird shot, and birdie is gotta be out of play.
She's actually close to the fairway of hole 2.
Yeah. It looked like that wind kind of flipped her disc over. It's interesting to watch people dial this shot in and figure out which route is the ideal one.
And today really was just mostly about the art of throwing discs far in the wind.
Mm-hmm. Really good shot from Kristin. She's going to be on that right side. I just think it's a slightly harder approach from over there, personally. Wow.
That
Lykke hanging this thing out there.
Yeah, that wind really pushing discs to the right.
Yeah, getting some great distance. Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cat working that overstable disc, giving it an Arkansas grunt.
Working that left side. And this, yeah, as I said, is my preferred place. She's probably 40 or 50 feet past the old tee pad and sets up for a nice little sidearm chip shot. Oh, she gets caught up on the tree, though. That's a bummer.
Did it kick past a little, maybe?
Yeah, she might be able to go for it, but it's going to be risky because of those low-hanging branches that are kind of right before that flat part on the hill.
Sai is so pinched here. I'm wondering if she's trying to get all the way down to a landing zone.
It looks like it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She's a little farther away than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to have to pitch at this point.
Look at how far Lykke got here. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was an absolute crush.
There's just going to be a pitch up here. You got to push those right side trees on the corner, which she does pretty perfectly.
Oh.
But this is why I don't like the right side. It's hard to land in the exact landing zone.
That almost looked like it was pushing out of bounds.
It might be. Yeah, that's the island hole, which is the next hole we're playing, which inside the logs are OB, so it usually stops you from actually finding that OB.
Kristin going around.
Interesting. I have no idea.
Is that it? Or is that
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Noah. That
Okay.
was good.
Oh, yeah. That was great. Cat. Yeah, she's way tangled up in the trees, just pitching.
Yeah. Ooh, sit. Okay,
What a lovely
that's good.
little pitch.
So I do like the change to this hole. I think that if they didn't put it quite as far back and made it a more eagleable par 5, that would be cool. And I also wish this was the finishing hole. But I think overall it was a good change. It's definitely more birdieable than it used to be. Sai definitely flirting with that OB.
Yeah, they put the OB right on the water line, which is nice.
And Lykke on that OB line for the island hole just pitches to a flat spot to go across.
Oh, it's the worst just pitching like 20 feet to the right.
It is the worst. And you end up having to do it on this hole more often than not, it feels like. Kristin's third.
This is still a very difficult shot. It looks wide open from this camera angle, but this gap is so difficult to hit because Oh, she gets a little lucky getting over those, or maybe she was trying to go over those pine trees.
Yeah,
but
hard to say. Either way.
If you go into those pine trees, you could be out of bounds potentially.
They can knock you down and then you can roll into the water and then you have to go from the drop zone.
And the backhand is even more touchy. You can see Lucky really having to push those right side trees. That can very easily push you OB.
She gets
Some
she
friendly.
lands in a
Yeah.
pretty okay spot. It looked like the pace was perfect if she was a foot to the left.
Yep.
Kat going nearly from the drop zone. This is her 4th. That's looking good.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
great. Right through the center of the gap.
That feels good. That is a tough shot, and pitching up a 3rd shot here often can lead to a bogey. This is not an easy approach.
Sai with a pretty difficult shot just to save bogey. And
Ooh, she overturns it and does not make it in bounds. She's
does
gonna
she
have
even
to,
cross?
It doesn't matter. It's
Oh.
mandatory drop zone.
Duh.
I had to look it up because I wasn't sure, so don't worry about it.
Another, just basically the same shot.
And the same mistake. But I believe now it's 2nd drop zone. Which I don't think they had last year, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, there was like a large paragraph to read on this hole. Here's Lucky for a par save. Difficult putt just because it's more elevation than it
Nice.
looks, but she is really putting together a clean round on the putting green.
That was dead center. I feel like it's a rite of passage to take a triple on this hole. It happens so fast. Like everyone sevens this. Everyone.
An unfortunate quad, though, for Sai. That
It hurts.
sucks. It's just a rough time.
Yeah.
And it happened so fast. She was only a little out of position a couple of times. And then that across the water after having to lay up multiple times is brutal.
Kristin continuing to string together birdies with her own ruby crowned kinglet. Kat not giving up yet. Still looking solid. There was only 4 birdies on that hole.
Yeah.
Danny Clyden, Jennifer Allen, and Missy Gannon, the other 3, along
Wild.
with Kristin Tattar, who is now
3 strokes in the lead.
birding half the holes in the first 14. Hole 15, the island hole. 315 feet, you have to carry this water just before the basket. It's right at the circle's edge at the bottom of the hill. It's kind of nice you get to throw into the side of the hill instead of trying to get your disc to land on the hill sloping the other way, but you can quickly skip out of bounds. Most common mistakes are right side hitting that big shadowy tree and not getting in or leaving it short.
Sidearm is such a cool play here. It really shapes for it. Kristin shows us why.
The wind today was tailwind.
It was, tail kind of right to left, so it was a perfect win for a sidearm and a scary win for a backhand. Lucky attempting the backhand here. That looks like a slower speed disc. Yeah, it's a Pathfinder. Oh,
It works?
no. Yeah, that
man.
line is pretty pulled off the water. Oh, she thinks did she make it? We'll find out.
We will.
Cat Mertsch going slow speed, star J. This looks like some good height and great turn.
Yeah, love this play. Coming in hot.
Yeah. Beautiful line.
The right side trees just off the tee pad are just at the right spot where you can't just dummy a hyzer in. You have to throw either something straight or getting some gentle turn. I like this play from Sai as well. A little more flex on it.
Yeah, great shot. And that is rare to have everyone land safely. And yep, it didn't happen. Okay, so I wasn't sure. Sorry. Lucky did land OB. And usually 1 or 2 people do. It's a tough little island hole. And this is not a guaranteed bogey. That's a great shot. I believe it's 170 feet away.
Good to see Lucky taking her time on that one. It's one that we sometimes see people rush and accidentally come up short.
Yeah, and then you're just rethrowing from there. Man, Cat just looking nervy on the green.
Yeah, once again, all of her mistakes have been high on the basket. So at least confident, just a little off. Oh, the high-low.
Yeah.
I wish there was a stat for how many 3 putts were on the screen because I feel like it's happened to me a lot.
It's happened to a lot of us a lot, I think.
Nice birdie from Sai.
I mean, especially after taking a 9. Like, it doesn't even look like it bothers her.
Yep, she's not going on tilt.
Pretty impressive. Kristin for 5 in a row. Put a little golden sombrero on that ruby-crowned kinglet.
Wow, the cutest sombrero ever.
So small.
This bird is like half an ounce.
And 2 birdies, 2 bogeys.
Now that's kind of how it goes. 33% of the field with a birdie, 50 with a bogey, only, what's the math? 25 with a par.
Nice-ish. I was going to say nice no matter what number you said. I can't do math either.
138.
Honk.
Yeah. Look at all that green on Kristin's scorecard.
Moves to 8 down, 4 strokes in the lead now. Hole 16, par 4, 615 feet. We moved back to a new tee pad, not quite as far back as the MPO, and they added an OB area to the left, making this a much more difficult birdie. Used to be one of the easier par 4s. Now averaging over par, you do have to go out to the right side. Also, because we move backwards down the hill, you kind of throw nose up on the first shot, so it's hard to get enough distance to then attack on the second. And then the second shot also used to be more of a power sidearm, but a lot of women not quite at the right angle with that tree there, having to go backhand.
You can see Kristin putting it way out to the right. That's to try to open up the second shot. If you do hug that tree in the middle, you're pushing out of bounds.
Yeah, we are going to see some birdies, but it's going to be power players birdieing this, and it used to be gettable by everyone, but still technical. I think one of the changes, either move the tee pad back or make kind of that shortcut that chops some distance off OB, but both is pretty punishing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone leaving it pretty wide here.
Especially since you kind of have an uphill run up on this tee pad as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it forces that nose up. So
but even the tee pad's like angled up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I will say these tee pads are lovely. I didn't see any slips on these tee pads, or I think these are have been really nice.
Yeah,
and the staff did a great job out here.
Yeah, they have always done a great job. Even on a snow day, these tee pads were awesome.
Lucky trying to give this thing enough juice to get a look at it. It's really hard even to get into circle 2, honestly. Sai having to go backhand here didn't quite clear the tree. I mean, she would go backhand no matter what, but... Not sure how close to circle 2 she is. It's an easy approach. It's just for a lot of the field, this is now just a boring par. Kristin far enough and to the level of that tree that she can attack this, but it used to be kind of a cool sidearm approach, and now you're just trying to kind of squeak by these trees with a backhand for the most part.
Yeah, almost just chucking into the trees and hoping you
that's
get
like kind
through.
of the play it feels like.
Yeah.
Kat so far on her drive here, still going backhand, which is interesting.
And she's doing that play right through the middle of the trees.
Poke and hope. And it gets caught up on that weird little wire fence. It's not barbed wire. It's just in your way and annoying.
Yeah, I really don't like this change at all.
Me neither. One or the other. Lucky just chips up her third shot here. And this is, I think, largely what you're going to see is like a super long look through some trees. And again, I'm just speaking, the most of the field.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be some power player birdies.
Only 5 players getting to circle 1.
Yeah, it looks
out
like
of 40.
Kat just outside. Really awkward putt. I think she hits her hand and her disc hits a tree.
Only 15 or 40% of the field, 15 players getting to circle 2 even.
Kristin for another birdie. 6 in a row? This is where we start running out of cute little names for you guys. Yeah. We don't have anything for that.
a ruby crowned kinglet with 2 sombreros.
A golden sombrero and then a diamond plated party hat on top of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just add hats.
Yeah. Festive hats.
Festive hats. Solid par putt there from Lykke. This green was pretty windy.
Yeah, look at those branches wiggling.
Wiggling.
There was only 6 birdies today. That is a sad loss of a birdie hole that we all loved.
Yeah, I think I'd be surprised if they don't change this one and hole 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just gonna
growing pains.
Just growing pains.
Kristin dominating right now.
Yeah.
5 strokes in the lead.
Crushing the field.
Hole 17 is 630 feet. It's so weird to be saying this is hole 17.
Yeah, I know.
It's so crazy. Mostly you're just navigating a low ceiling off the tee here. You want something that does finish a little bit more right, though, to open up this second shot. It's fine if you're left as well, though, because it does set up for a nice, powerful hyzer to the green. It can be a 2-shot hole, but it's risky because of how much out of bounds there is on the second half of the hole. There's some little tree clumps on the right-hand side and a line all the way down the right and left that pinches in to the left and behind the basket. So come in soft, just like Evelina did.
Man, that was a huge drive. Able to just kind of chip up and a little left side on the putt makes a birdie. This was a horrendous wind when I came through. It looks like it's down right now. We'll see what our feature card has to deal with.
Definitely some wind on the tee.
As a headwind. Old hole 3.
Yep.
We've done some rearranging out here. And that looks like the perfect height. Wow. Kristin just barely squeaking under that branch. And lands in a good spot. You can definitely hear a little wind. It looks mostly like a headwind. It's just hard to say.
The hyzer flip that doesn't quite get the turn that Sai wants. It's fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
You're just stoked if you get under that tree branch, honestly.
Or, get squeak lucky through it.
Uh-huh. Like what just happened.
Yeah. And that was like a common play today. I think ladies stabling up to deal with the wind, but then not really turning quite as much as you think. Cat, a lot of height on this, just needs to get lucky through these branches.
Yeah, kind of a wild release there, but it works.
It's okay, yeah. Unlike I don't know if she'll have a chance to birdie it quite as much as the other ladies. How far do you think she is?
Ooh, I would guess 400.
Yeah. Maybe 380,
Yeah.
but I think somewhere close to 4 for sure.
It doesn't put it out wide enough at all. That is flirting with OB.
More than flirting.
Was it too early?
I actually am not sure.
Might have been just the right
Amount
of early.
Just a nice little flirty shot there. Lykke trying. Wow, pushing this right side actually.
Which is the smart play.
Oh no, that's out.
I didn't realize how far right she was pushing it.
I thought it was good at first, but I think the wind just kind of kept it straight pushing instead of hyzering.
Sai with more of an open look.
Yeah, probably 350, maybe slightly
but that is
less, which is great.
That's fading towards OB so fast.
Yeah, that OB is right outside, or even is it touch the circle? It's inside.
Oh, I think it's inside.
Oh, it is.
I think
it's like 25. Yeah,
it's really close. Behind the basket too is inside the circle.
Kristin able to just throw a little simple hyzer. That looks beautiful. Just sit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Little flirty.
Yep. 2 or 3 feet off the out of bounds line, but safe inside the circle.
Lykke throwing 4 from 140 feet or so.
Not a gimme shot either.
It's that awkward in between putt throw distance too. Leaves it a little short. Cat inbounds.
Trying to save a birdie.
Nice flirty birdie.
You have to run it this one soft. You don't really get to commit to this putt necessarily. If you're feeling off, it's a hard one.
Yeah, she's even close to OB with that, and that was kind of a soft bid, as you said. Kristin for 7 in a row. Okay, good. I was just trying to think of hats.
A crown. Next would be a. Oh wait,
I mean,
it's
it has
ruby
a crown, right?
Oh no. Oh no.
A natural crown.
A halo.
Sai with a great par save there.
Yeah.
Nice putt.
Yeah, another big putt.
Moves back to even. Man, so impressive that 9 didn't shake her. That's pretty freaking impressive.
Fortitude. Oh man. Cat getting a little
Not her day on the green.
Yeah, wonky on the green.
Lucky for a bogey. As good as she could have done after that errant second shot. Still 2 down.
There were only 4 birdies today. Stacy Kiefer, Missy Gannon, Jenny Karpinen, and Evelina Salonen. We got to watch 50% of the field bogey or worse. That played as the hardest hole today.
Yeah, like I said, the wind, I think, was really tough on this one in particular. Something about this corner. And new 18, old 5. Par 3, 345. No major changes to the hole. The drop zone's a little closer, actually. OB on the right side, that turns into a little channel. It's a little bit downhill. It was, at least when I came through, kind of a right to left. Actually, wait. No, it wasn't. I don't remember.
It was left to right,
It
maybe?
was left to right,
Yeah.
actually. Yep.
But kind of blocked.
Yeah, you couldn't feel it at first, but it's definitely a bit windy on the green. We're checking back in with Evelina, who's 5 down now in solo second. Looks like she's going across, but catches one of those middle trees, drops OB.
Oh.
And so any OB is mandatory drop zone, which is probably like 50 feet closer, but still not exactly a putt. You'll see some runs at it, though. Looks like Evelina's going to end at 4 down with that bogey. Still a great round. This is definitely, it's not a bad ending hole because there's quite a bit of risk reward. But you do see from most of the field, it's going to be a layup on a windy day.
Kristin going for it and
getting lucky.
Yeah, getting nice and lucky.
She's earned it. Did you see the rest of her round? Friggin' so good.
But it's pretty common to see people just choosing to lay up on this hole. At least in years past. Sai making a pretty classic mistake here. Just turning it over a little bit too much. Overcommitting to the flex shot.
Yeah, it's definitely a really easy thing to do. Accidentally give it too much turn. Lucky with just the layup play here. Nice slow speed. Disc leaves it a little shorter than you need to, but it's still a pretty simple approach shot from there.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago that this was even a par 4.
This was a par 4 at this distance?
It has been.
At this
Wasn't
distance,
that long
though?
ago. Yeah, maybe like 7 years ago. But
That's wild.
I know.
Cat makes it across. Just looks frustrated at the rest of the round. Kind of a tough go from our previous year's winner. We'll see if she can clean up the next couple rounds.
Just a little chip shot to the green, but can be disastrous. We've seen a lot of errors on those inside trees.
I'm wondering if we're going to see anyone make this. It's gettable. What is it, like 100 feet it looks like? Hard to say. That's a great run.
Speaking of.
Yeah, great run. I mean, it's kind of a cool drop zone compared to the old one. Cat for a birdie. Just outside the circle.
Right at out of bounds. Just a little nervy. There were only 4 birdies on this hole today.
There's one.
Super solid.
10 down. Double digits in this wind.
I know. I'm eating my words. I said there would be no double digits today.
Yeah. I just remembered one of the Statmano guys sent some stats.
Really nice round from Lucky. Looking so solid out there. Her errors are so close. I would not be surprised if we see her on a bunch of lead cards this weekend. Kat, we could see her come out here and shoot 10 down tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the type of course Jonesboro is. And it's supposed to be calm, I think.
Yeah, calmer. Okay, real quick. So from Statmando, Kristin's unofficial rating is 1044, which is the 6th highest DGPT rating of all time. Second highest rated round 1 at the Disc Golf Pro Tour, at any Disc Golf Pro Tour event.
Wow.
Which is nuts. And she's a 6-stroke lead, as we can see, over Evelina Salonen going into the final day. 8 strokes over Jennifer Allen and Lykke Lorentzen, who shot well enough to remain on lead card. Very impressive. Holland Hanley in the tie as well. I think I missed one.
And like we said at the beginning of the first 9 holes, this tournament has classically been a blowout. Someone wins by a lot. But last year we did get to see that playoff with Kat Mertsch and Haley King. Right now, look at this. It's looking like a potential blowout, but we'll see.
I mean, Kristin tends to win once she's in the lead and has a little bit of a buffer.
But again,
and she's hungry, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the way Jonesboro is that we could see so many people shooting double digits on a calm day, and that's what we get tomorrow on moving day. So please come hang, come watch, and let's see if people can come out and shoot some hot scores. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. And we're the two Huckies.
Honk.